Here, Nibs, I'd like for you to review best boy. Mr. Editor, you're gonna have to put this in the video, but please put poop emojis everywhere or something. Thank you. Alright, so Hevering's hair, Linhardt, has somehow made it to +10 already. Despite being a demoted hero, he is already +10. That is never worth it. But not just that, do you guys notice who he killed? 40% +5 has Tana Baton. Who's that from? Has attack res push 4. Has odd recovery 3. Was it multiple Sephirins? Holy, hey, for Jesus, go to bed. Multiple Sephirins? Oh my goodness, why? He's so good. Odd recovery is so important. It's for Linhardt. Okay, at the very least, I know you are in fact a true Linhardt fanboy. But Sephirin is a game changer. I wish I had one odd recovery. One odd recovery, it would really help my team out. But damn, man, damn. Alright, with that said, let's move on. The reason why this is super good is because Tana Baton gives your allies defense res +2 and guard. That is really important. It keeps a lot of them alive. With the future being Dual Lin's abusing everything, this is important. If you can deny her getting multiple specials, as this one cooldown, like Moonbow, for example, you can keep a lot of heroes alive. Attack res push 4 is big. Those are his two biggest stats here, attack and res. Grateful Staff for the damage to be calculated normally. Odd recovery is the biggest thing. 20 HP heal penalty removal on odd number turns is really important. This actually, like, used on certain heroes can make it so your majority of opponents can't even like handle your first turn. Close guard helps with the defense and res. With Tana Baton, you are now adding defense res +6 against close heroes that attack up close. But yeah, it's really, really good. 44 HP, 51 attack, 30 speed, 35 defense, and 46 res is really, really good. His res is so high that most mages can't handle him. But I think you need to go for defense plus defense or add defense, because that's what really threatens you. 35 defense is nothing. But yeah, 30 speed is also rough. But when you do attack, you have 58 attack, which is respectable. Yeah. It's really good. As a really good Linhardt, anything of odd recovery will show their worth in battle really easily. But it's so expensive. You are a true fanboy. That much is for sure. I wouldn't have given him odd recovery, though. Sorry, not odd recovery. Attack res push 4, though. So, are you just waiting for C Dual Infantry 4? Is that it? Anyways, I would say if you have Colors Dual Infantry 4 when it comes out, that would be pretty ideal, right? More of every stat, more HP, more everything. Other good weapon, or sorry, A scale for him is Fortress Defense Res, because his attack doesn't really matter, right? You could even go for like a heal, something else in your B slot, just to force him to stay on the healing side of things. I would say even consider Physics Plus, because sorry, not Physics Plus. Instead of Physics Plus, Restore Plus. I know odd recovery helps, but it's only every other turn. I guess you can heal from further away with Physics Plus, but yeah, if you do Fortress Defense Res, his res is really, really high, but it gives his defense a more chance. It gives him a better chance of surviving like physical battles, is what I'd say. Yeah, that's what I would do. Fortress Defense Res, don't worry about using him as an attacker. In general play, though, attack res push 4 is better, obviously, but in Ether Raids and whatnot, where this is going to really make a difference because of odd recovery. I don't know if you can use him in Ether Raids because he's infantry healer, but yeah, odd recovery is where it would truly shine in those cases. But yeah, I wouldn't really change anything. It's really good. Earthwater Bomb is fine as well. Roster says Speed Smoke or Defense Smoke. Ingrid needs no extra damage, chat. Chat, do you think Ingrid needs extra damage real quick? Because her damage output is insane. 20% of her speed becomes true damage, which is fucked. Because she's already fast. Loon adds 6 speed. Attack speed, so adds 7, 13, 54 speed. 20% 54 per shot. So let me calculate that. 54 times 0.2 is 10.8. 10.8 at 59 attack. Yeah, you're hitting like 69 per shot. I don't think you really need it. Uh, if you want, I guess. The thing is, at unmerged, yeah, I can see it being a weakness. And Gale Force with Heavy Blade. Yeah, she's really ideal for Gale Force as well. We did talk about that. Defense Smoke could get her a kill that she might have not necessarily had. Attack Smoke only really matters if she finds herself in enemy formation. And she's at full HP. I would say watch her battles. If you notice because the reality is, with Lunge, you're in the enemy formation, and she'll target a unit she can definitely kill and take the least amount of damage. Defense Smoke isn't really necessary. It is only necessary if you're stuck with a bunch of tanks, for example. And that does happen. It does. For example, she's going up against Milla, who she might not kill, and she's going up against, like, for example, she attacks a Vector and gets through Vector, for example, right? Because Vector can't even counterattack because of Lewin. If you outspeed your opponent, it's essentially a fire sweep, a conditional fire sweep. I would say, personally, if it were me, I'd do Attack Smoke, right? Because I do Attack Smoke on Eliwood, and seeing my opponent need, like, to use 3 heroes to kill Eliwood afterwards really allows for the rest of the team to catch up and beat them. So I personally would do Attack Smoke, but it's up to you. Defense Smoke is really good. It's just I don't think you need the extra defense. But watch her defense battles. If you notice she's lunging into a bunch of tanks, in which case she might need Defense Smoke for the kill, then go Defense Smoke. But I think more often than not, she lunges into a bunch of soft units, gets the kill. It's where Attack Smoke really shines. 10 on maxed out Lorenz. 53 HP, 53 attack, 37 speed, 34 defense, 35 res. Unity blooms, which is perfect because he doesn't actually want to like go off engaging. This is also a defensive build anyways. Unity blooms, why is it so good? If units within 2 space an ally, which he should be, attack res -5 on foe during combat, and when unit deals damage to foe during combat, restores 4 HP to units, and it happens during combat per hit. So you can heal up to 8. But yeah, reposition, Ruptured Sky, Close Full, Low Attack Res, Fatal Smoke, and QR. With QR and Unity Blooms, you're healing back 8 HP guaranteed. Ruptured Sky, you could go for a 3 cooldown move, but I get it. Might be better to take this because you do effective damage, double the damage against beasts and dragons. But yeah, Close Foil, Unity Blooms essentially adds 10 extra defense, 44 defense, and 10 extra, 10 extra defense plus 3. 47 defense isn't bad, with 8 HP healing during the battle is not bad at all. Res is essentially acting as 43, which isn't bad either. The thing is, you don't have speed, which you don't need, I guess, because QR is there, and I guess it... actually, Ruptured Sky with 37 speed might make more sense, because they attack, and then you might cause a draw, in which case you attack, and then you Ruptured Sky. So yeah, maybe Ruptured Sky is probably better than... I forget, Lorenz is like a balanced unit. Because they just wanted to make sure he sucked at everything, actually. Sorry, but moving on. Yeah, it's not bad at all. Attack is looking like 5 plus 5. It's if they're up close. Plus 3. So that's 13 extra. 66, not bad. But yeah, 58 to 66. Sorry. 61 to 66 attack isn't bad at all. Yeah, it's a really cool Lorenz. It's easily the best Lorenz I've ever seen. Fatal Smoke, because why the heck not? I guess you need attack res, right? Lull attack? Wait, you can't take both. I don't know. I don't know why you need Fatal Smoke. But yeah, congratulations on making the best Lorenz I've ever seen. Just don't ask if I've seen another Lorenz. Alright, the big guy, the muscle monger, Raphael. 40 plus 10 plus 3, 55 HP, 63 attack. Go for plus attack, super boon, 32 speed, 46 defense, and 27 res. It's unfortunately it kind of lacks in res. I don't know if you really need Reindeer Bow. But if you have armor boots and you take no damage, you can stay in, you can keep your armor boots, right? So I do understand why you're going like this. Double down. This way, defense was 5, 51. Attack defense unity, 56 defense. 56 defense, it's pushing it. If you have defense down or drew a panic manner, then maybe. I get what you're going for. If you don't take any damage, you just stay in armor boots. But that's hard. If you have him with like buffs, then I can see it working out. But yeah, nowadays a lot of heroes hit into 60s, and because you want to maintain all your HP to stay in armor boots, it's pretty important. If you didn't want to do that, then I think it's fine. Rainier Bow is actually so perfectly stacked for this, right? Attack defense plus 5 unit and special cooldown charge -1 on, which means even if they attack him a bunch of times, not worried about their specials breaking his HP. Yeah. 56 defense isn't bad. It's just you're probably not taking no damage. All Smoke is also really good to take away your specials, which is probably one thing that breaks his HP. And of course, yeah. Deadeye's a good choice. Deadeye's really, really good on armor heroes because how do you even charge Deadeye if you can't outspeed them? And often enough, Deadeye was meant for beating speed damage reduction. Of course, with Bold Fighter, it doesn't worry. You don't have to worry about it anymore. You attack -2, they attack -1, and then you Deadeye them. So yeah, Deadeye's really well fitting on Raphael. It's actually ridiculous, and you should feel bad because you're a terrible person for doing this. You only had 2 possible choices, whether to go Sturdy Impact or Close 4 or Close Counter. In other words, are you going to make him a striker or a counter attacker? Which, by the way, the counter attacker build still makes him a striker because he's so stupidly good. But with that said, yeah, you chose Sturdy Impact, which makes sense. Increases his defense by 10. Baiting him is now so stupidly difficult to, like, you can't kill him when you bait him.
I don't want to fight this ever.
Yep.
Ever.
Because chat, Fallen Star triggers, so you got 80% damage reduction. Sturdy Impact triggers, Fail Not triggers, so you have another 15 defense as well. You're not going down. You're going to be fine. Now, chat might be like, oh, well, what's the point of extra defense if you have 80% damage reduction? 80% damage reduction, while it'll keep you alive, definitely, is not 100%. You could still die next turn. Like, if they hit him twice, for example, you can still die. But, yeah.
Yeah, the defense doesn't matter. It's the impact effect. The fact that Claude can't get doubled by anything is just, well, besides other null follow-up users that happen to have the speed to beat him,
Yep.
is brutal.
Yep.
Like, you literally are at a point where if you want an enemy faces Claude and double him, you have to run null follow-up somewhere, and you have to be fast enough to get past 51, 55 speed.
Yep, which is really hard. Which, by the way, it's
Yeah.
55 speed at +1, no flowers. Screw that.
Nope. Yeah,
Okay.
no, and this is by the Iotes, not even like an actually speed-based seal.
Yeah. So Iotes just is very solid. It's really hard to argue Iotes on like any flyer, to be honest. But yeah, it just solidifies everything.
Yeah. No. Great Claude. This is the kind of Claude I'm actually already seeing, and it's absolutely terrifying.
Oh.
And nice pulls, by the way. Great
Nice pulls.
Great IV.
Yep. All right. Yeah, nothing would change. Really good. Oh, well, this is definitely one for the books. 40 + 10 + 5. Maxed out Claude. 47 HP, 55 attack, 49 speed, 28 defense, 30 res. Win Parthia, reposition, Ruptured Sky, Close Foil, Mystic Boost, attack speed, rain, and Night Shield. I'm surprised, but Ruptured Sky is really good for damage, and that's one thing people worry about Claude. Can he deal enough damage? Because
And also, can he actually live one shot? I
right, he
guess.
only has 2 little things about him, so whether he can survive or survive. I mean, sorry, whether he can kill them or survive.
Yep. I mean, that's also how most units work, but for Claude specifically, it's does he live one hit to retaliate for a special?
Yep.
And does that special kill
Yep.
eventually?
If he had null follow-up like Legendary Claude, I think he'd be perfect, but he would also be even more broken. Yeah.
I feel like that's one of the things that keeps Legendary Claude from Brave Claude.
Yeah. Now, we still see Claudes. By the way, the 2 most frequent Brave heroes I see are Claudes and Edelgards. Sorry, Dimitri's. And Lysithia's, I guess. But yeah, it's just sorry, Dimitri. I don't see you ever.
Yeah. But this is literally perfect.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of build that Claude strives to be.
So the really respectable stat is don't be fooled by the 28 defense. While it may look like the lowest one, Close Foil adds 5, Wind Parthia adds 5, attack speed rain essentially adds 4, so that's 14. You hit, wow, 42. Yeah. That's coming out of nowhere, actually. Wow. And remember, Wind Parthia, you hit him, he Ruptured Skies and heals 50% of units' maximum HP. So
yep.
Very
so unless
annoying.
You deal more than half of his health in one hit, he just heals everything you just did back.
Yep. And his res isn't bad at 39. While his attack is definitely not bad at 5 + 5, 10, 65. Yeah.
Yeah, and his speed even hits a pretty solid 58.
Yep. So as a whole, I can see how this being very annoying as a Dark Blessing hero. Because in your mind, you might be like, well, what if I just bait Claude? Well, Wind Parthia still triggers, and attack speed range still triggers, and all of a sudden he has 9 extra speed. He attacks, you attack, he attacks, he heals back up. And he outsped you, yeah, you're in trouble now.
It's actually easier for Wind Parthia to trigger if he initiates on you because it's guaranteed.
Right. Right. So yeah, as a whole, Claude
So
is a scary unit.
yeah, if you do not have a unit that can just straight up one-shot him almost, you're not going to kill him very easily, if ever.
Yeah.
And he can literally stall you for the entire rest of the fight.
Yeah.
Unless you run a dragon, in which case you're special.
Yeah, no one runs offensive dragons anymore. Unless it's a Spring of Dune. That's the only defensive dragon that's I see.
Yeah.
And those are rare, but yeah. Very good Claude, perfect. Literally nothing to do.
Nope.
In this case, it is plus attack minus 13 defense. You might as well just have no defense, right? She'll explode when hit by something, but you try to save it. All right, Icy Fimble Vetter gives you attack res -6 on your opponent, so fair enough. You have 5 HP healing, so you get a bit more bulk during the battle if you can take a hit. Reposition Iceberg attack defense unity. Null follow-up, joint drive res, and attack defense. So null follow-up with Icy Fimble Vetter is actually pretty interesting. If they have wary or something, you could just break through with Icy Fimble Vetter. So if solo, attack defense unity, and Icy Fimble Vetter, that is 17 extra defense. You hit 30, which is serviceable. So at 30, if you get debuffed, it's even higher. I don't know if you needed to do that, but yeah, I guess it works. This is way too overboard, I'll say. Anyways, I wouldn't change anything. I think it's good. I think it's... To be fair, right? Joint drive res, attack defense unities, Icy Fimble Vetter want you to be close to your allies, right? So, yeah, the unity, joint drive res, and Icy Fimble Vetter, it makes perfect sense. It's just trying to say that defense is kind of silly, but I guess you can. If you had more merges, I would believe in this a lot more, but yeah, it's kind of pushing it. I don't think it's worthy, like it's worth it to try and like get all your hero stats to be like close to each other. I think you gotta just abandon some stats once in a while, right? So Marianne's exceptionally good against other mages, and defensively that's supposed to be her weak spot. But yeah, I guess they're trying to save her there. Fair enough. 30 defense at base, so long as you're within 2 spaces, might work out. All right. 40 plus 1, 47 HP, 54 attack, 20 speed, 24 defense, 39 res. Banshee, rally attack speed plus Iceberg, Mirror Stance 3, Special Spiral 3. Joy drive res. I would bet you have probably the best Solon in FEH right now. I would like to make that bet. I believe in that. You have improved his 2 most essential stats: more attack, more res. There's no saving his defense, so do not bother. Special Spiral with Iceberg, drop it to 1 cooldown. Iceberg them in the face. Very powerful. QR, so they attack, you attack, they attack, you blow them up. And later on, it just becomes 1 cooldown, so it saves you some HP as well. Fair enough. Your res goes up to a pretty decent 45, and you have guard. But yeah, it really depends on if they fight you on turns 3 and 4, right? Attack speed, defense, res -6, gravity, guard, and preventing counterattacks on closest foes within 5 spaces of unit through their next actions. This just really messes up people because it's at start of turn 3. This could help you beat enemy heroes really easily, right? If you use Solon offensively. Defensively, it's kind of messed because your opponent gets their turn first, so they get to drop so they get to kill a bunch of units with their bolt tower timing, and then you get to do your stuff. Like, it's a huge timing push. A lot hinges on what you do on turns 3 and 4. As an Ether Raid's offense hero, he could work really, really well because gravity is super, super useful. Guard is super useful, -6 on all stats. But he's not really contributing towards the battle in most scenarios. With a build like this, he actually does contribute because he can be a ranged mage killer. But that's a very peculiar and specific role, and you might not fight enough ranged mages for it to matter. I see his niche for Solon, and I know why some people are so excited about him. But I personally have no excitement for him at all. It is too specific in my books. I really wonder who's going to run him just so they can use Banshee. Because if you don't win on turns 3 and 4, you might have just lost. In a lot of cases, you really could just lose. But yeah, if everything works in his favor, he can break open teams. And it's really impressive when he works. But when he doesn't perform, he doesn't carry his weight in battle. And he just ended up being Banshee carry. So I'm going to cheer you on, Bats. I want to see if you can make this work. I appreciate it, right? Mirror Stance, Joint Drive res gets to 49 res, and if you're lucky and you fight on turns 3 and 4, he's a very solid unit on those turns. But yeah, I worry about him in every other scenario. That's why I worry about him.